Hello, and welcome to Linking to the Afterlife. I'm Donna Boyle, a medium and direct messenger for spirit. It's my job to interpret the images and sensations that appear in my physical as well as my emotional body. Spirit knows what we are ready to receive at this time for our soul's growth. Spirit always knows best. Let's listen in now to the conversation with my guests in the physical and spiritual world. The real question for all of us is, are we ready to hear the message? I also see family members like scooping you up and taking you in, which talks to me that your family members, they love to just bring you in, hold you, take care of you, protect you. They're a big part of your existence also. I'm not sure if it's non-physical or physical yet, but I'm seeing definitely family members. Would that make sense to you a little bit? Yes, no, or maybe?
Yes.
I feel specifically like parental figures, mom and dad, holding you, hugging you. Are they still here in the physical world?
Yes.
Yes. So that would make sense to you. You're close to them. They say to me, you know, she does so many things, so many things. We try to protect her, but we recognize we can't protect her all the time. Does that make sense?
Yes. They also show up in dreams to protect me.
And they're here in the physical world.
Yes.
Wow, their higher selves are very conscious. You understand, I am reading their higher selves.
Mm-hmm.
They look at each other like, is it your turn? No, it's your turn. Is it your turn? No, it's your turn to talk to her. No, it's your turn to talk to her. Does that make sense?
Yes. And when I was little, they took turns every night, which one would come to me if I was waking up while I was sleeping.
Good confirmation for that. I feel they've been with you with so many lifetimes, though, Laura. They aren't just your parents in this lifetime. They've been your parents in many lifetimes. Do you think you felt that?
Yes, I think so.
I'm getting my idea of confirmation is goosebumps, and they're coming up the right side of my body, like still, and even just my right leg right now, which tells me that powerful presence that they have in your life, not just this one, but many other lifetimes. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like I heard you say coming into your dreams. I almost feel like it's other parents, your parents from other lifetimes that also come into your dreams. So tell me, do they sometimes come into your dreams as not the image of your parents, but yet they feel like your parents? Has that ever happened?
No, they always look like themselves, but sometimes they feel like spirit guides. So
Yeah.
quite the opposite.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that 100%, that it's now confirmed for you that parents of many lifetimes, not
And they feel like they're different a bit that they are in real life. So they look like themselves. I know they're my parents, but I also know they're different in a way.
you get how this works, right? I see it.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that confirmation, because now what you can do is you can ask the parents of the other lifetimes, come to me as who you were now.
Oh, okay.
Now that I know this, now that Donna has confirmed this and said this through you, let's see what you look like in those. If they're so good at that, then let's do more with them. Let's say, hey, give them that opportunity to do more, but you have to give them that permission.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't want to freak you out. Get it? Can you imagine a man and a woman coming into your dreams? Like, you have no idea who they are. And they're like, we're your parents. And you're like, yeah, you look nothing like my parents. But I feel that you, the way you are so open to receive that. You're not like freaked out by that at all. Would that be correct?
Yes.
So when I see them, parents, I'll say in quotes, but also parents meaning plural, like there's so many parents here, so many parents that you've had in past lifetimes. I can't speak to just one right now. I feel like I'm speaking to this collective of parents. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And they all know when to keep their distance. They all know what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I, as Donna, as a person walking along, I would never worry that they're going to come through and like tell you to do something that you don't want to do. I feel like they're just very respectful, but respectful of your privacy, respectful of who you truly are. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
They would never push you to do something that would go against who you already know you are. Even your parents in this lifetime, right? Even though they worry about you, they're like, I know you have to do it, but I'm just telling you, we're not happy with what you're doing. You understand?
Yeah, particularly my dad. My mom can be a little pushy, but she doesn't push past a certain limit. If she sees me convinced of something, she steps back.
They've had so much practice being your parents, but this is a different time. It's a different generation. It's a different lifetime, right? It's not just, oh, okay, she's going outside to play in the prairie. This is like, oh, she's going outside in the city. It's the city now. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
So each lifetime they learn as much as you learn. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Gives you something else to go forward with, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like a different way to relate to them even now, maybe. Use it.
Okay.
Are you the only child, or is there a sister that was here and then?
I am an only child, but my mom had 2 other pregnancies after me.
Okay, so there was a sister that was here and not here. One of those pregnancies was a sister. I feel both of them are sisters now. But there was one specific one that's coming through, one of the sisters that's come through. Do you understand how that works?
Yeah, I think so.
It's still a soul. It still came here for a reason, and then departed quickly. And now she's saying, do you want another sister? How would you like 2 new sisters?
I think it would be nice. A little late.
Well, not late for them. They've always been with you. You just didn't know it.
Mm.
And again, there's that respectful look. I'm going to wait until I have the opportunity to ask her if she wants a sister. I'm just not going to barge into your life. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So the one sister came through, and the one sister was like to the other sister, should we ask her? Should we ask her? Yeah, you go ask her. You ask her first. There's like a hierarchy here in the world of spirit. One sister is clearly the talker, and the other sister is more the shy type.
Mm-hmm.
But you got both of that. You got the talker, and you also got the contrast to that, the shy, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So they were total opposites. And then you come and you get the best of both of them. You came after those 2 miscarriages, is that correct?
No, I came first.
Isn't that interesting? I feel that they were there before you, which is why I asked. You came after them. I feel it was their purpose to show contrast, to show the opposites, right? And there's never a right or wrong. There's only a soul, and there's only a soul connection, no matter how long that soul was here in the physical world or not. Do you understand?
Yes.
During your childhood, we'll say when you were 5 or 6, these girls might have been more active. Would you say when you were 5 or 6 is when that would have happened?
No.
So I feel you 5 or 6. I feel you in that range playing with these 2 girls. Do you remember your childhood? Do you remember if there was someone else playing with you when you were a child?
There were people, but physical people. I felt a presence. I remember very well that time because it was an important time of my life. And nobody I would speak to, nobody I could see.
You're saying at the age of that 5 or 6?
I sensed something and I was afraid.
Okay. I'm conveying here to you now, those 2 sisters were hanging around during that time.
Oh.
So you understand how that's when they came after?
Mm-hmm.
So let me explain to you a little bit of the process. When I was sensing them before, meaning they came before you, they came actually before you were 5 or 6. Do you understand?
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
now I'm getting that. It takes a minute sometimes. It has to come full circle because I'm sensing, right? And if you
Mm-hmm.
can't give me a yes or a no, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm still sensing that. There's got to be something else.
Mm-hmm.
So these sisters were with you during that time. They were, we'll call them spirits that you sensed. How do you feel about that time now?
It's interesting. It kind of makes sense in a way, but I don't want to give out,
Okay.
I want to give you too many details.
Okay. So these 2 girls, your sisters, I'm going to give you their names. Okay.
Oh, okay.
They are Ava and Anna, but not Anna. Like she just said, it's not Anna, Donna, it's Anna. Ava and Anna. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So, no, I just got full body chills on that one. And I love the way your sister called me out. She said, it's not Anna, it's Anna. Like,
Oh my God. That's how you would pronounce it in Romanian, because I'm Romanian. You wouldn't say Anna, you would say Anna.
as soon as it came out of my mouth, she was like, she said that. It's not Anna, Donna. And that's the way she said it. It's not Anna. Like she was making fun of my accent. Totally like she was fun. So Ava and Anna are their names. Ava is, we'll say, the older one. Okay. Anna was the one that was not speaking as much. Remember at the beginning, she didn't talk as much. She said, you talk, you talk. But then as soon as I said her name wrong, what did she do? Oh, right in.
It's interesting because I always loved this name. And when I was little and I was writing creative texts, I would name my character Anna. Because, and I said, if I ever had a girl, I would like to call her Anna because I love that name.
They weren't that far apart. I'm going to say this because this is what I sense, and there is absolutely no way you can confirm this, but I'm going to say it. They were supposed to be twins. They were supposed to be in the same incarnation. And then when it didn't happen, your mother agreed in some form or fashion, right? Some unconscious fashion. They said, if we don't come together, we're not coming. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
They're not sad about it. They're like, that was the deal. We wanted to come together. We wanted to be twins, but that didn't happen. So they said, yeah. So to Donna, soul came in for a few months, soul left. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
The circumstances around it is just human. Got it? It's not spirit. But there was an agreement all around.
I believe there always is.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a lot going on. Is there a Stefan or a Steve or a Stefano, anything like that name in your family?
Yes,
Who is that?
my grandpa,
What's his name?
Stefan,
Is that your mother's father or your father's father?
father's father.
Was he alive when your mom lost these children?
Yes.
Feels like there was a conversation he had. He's not alive now, right? He's in the non-physical world?
Yes.
Yes. When I said there was a conversation, he popped in. Then he told me his name. And I knew he was in the non-physical world, but I also felt he was in the physical world when this happened. So do you think they told him?
Possibly.
Whatever question you have in your head right now, there's something happening in your head right now. Spirit saying it is possible.
Okay.
Was there something in your head right now that you were thinking about?
Yes.
They're saying it is possible. I don't see your thought, but I hear them say, tell her, yes, it can. Yes, it's possible.
All right.
Do you want to share that with me or let that one go?
Yes, because I was thinking of my other grandpa and I was hoping he might show up.
Yes, it's possible.
Yes, it's possible. Doesn't mean yes, it will happen.
That's right. Let me see if I can get him through. So why don't you say your grandfather's name, first name for me?
Alexandro. Alex.
Did you know him personally?
Yes.
More of a straight-laced man, like he maybe would have worn a suit more than he wore jeans and a t-shirt. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you. He had this something about him, like a possession. He might have had a possession. Do you have a possession of his? Do you have one of his possessions?
Mm-hmm. I have his pack of cards.
I'll go with that. But that must be what it is. You have one of his prized possessions.
It was something he liked a lot, and he taught me to play cards, and we were playing cards together. So I think he liked that pack of cards.
To him, it was a prize. To him, all that time you spent and played cards, and now that you have them and can remember him. They're both, the two of them, they're just both. If in the physical world, they probably wouldn't have gone to see a medium. They probably weren't that, you can talk from the afterlife sort of people. Would that be correct?
Yes.
So my point of asking that was because they're not the best at communicating with me. I usually get good telepathy from people if they really understand this whole thing and work on this whole thing. But to them, they're like, oh, what's happening now? We're here, but how did we get here? Do you understand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
To my guest this week, thank you for allowing me to be the link in these messages. And for all of you listening, we appreciate your appearance in the oneness. In this space of love, we all expand in consciousness. If you're interested in a reading for the show or a private reading with me, see the show notes for more info. Thank you for your rating and review of this podcast. Until next time.